Hello, welcome to another Sonic Racing Costos Morning tutorial. This is going to be a bit of a shorter one. I'm going to be going a bit more in depth into material instances and how to properly use them. I showed them in the character modding video, but I only made a very basic one with only one node in it. So for this one, I'm going to be giving you this dummy material that I made. Hello, editing side to here. Small pause because I forgot to mention this in the video because I'm an idiot. To actually get this dummy material in here, you don't drag and drop it into the folder like this. You don't do this. It won't work. What you do is that you take the downloaded UA set and you manually put it in the folders on the project. To do this, go to where the project is, go to Union, and instead of saved, you go to Content. Contents, one Union, Asset, Character, as a material, and you put it here. Then it will show up in the engine and you can use it just fine. The material makes no sense. Don't worry about it making sense. The preview doesn't matter in Unreal Engine. What it matters is what it does. What does this do? This lets you change the diffuse, the material roughness and occlusion, the normal map, the mask, the whatever the SPT is supposed to be, and the high. High, SPT, and mask are used for eyes, and BC, MRO, and normals are used for practically everything. It also has a node for Fresnel color and Fresnel power. Now, how do we use this? My personal recommendation would be to keep it like this, as named as dummy material in the master material folder. You can see it's in Union, Asset, Characters, and Master Material. And simply right-click it and create material instance. Now, you are going to name this instance after the material you want to edit. So let's move it where it's supposed to be, in this case, shadow. So I'm going to be using this Mythos model as an example. So we're going to rename this to the material you want to use. In my case, I want to use the shadow firm material as the base. The shadow firm material is called like this. So I'm going to just copy paste the material name. Now we're going to make a second instance of this. It's going to be our custom material. So I'm going to call it Mythos body. Now in this one, we are going to be changing everything. So let's go into it. And I want to change the diffuse, in this case the BC, the MRO, and the normal. So I'm going to tick all three of them. Oops, wrong one. Now I'm going to replace them. I have my method textures here, so let me make this bigger. So I'm going to replace the BC, I'm going to replace the MRO, and I'm going to replace the normal map. You can apply this to the model. It won't preview correctly because I am using the mask as a actual mask for opacity in the material. So even if you preview it, it's not going to look good. But simply put it into the material. I'm only going to do this. I don't want to do the other ones because it's just for a quick example. Once this finishes compiling, which it's doing right here, you will see that everything sort of floats. It's going to be invisible for obvious reasons as I just mentioned, but regardless. Now simply going to save the material. Close this. Platforms, Windows, content. Now, while this is doing, I want to talk a little bit more about this. The Fresnel color, for example, is used in like Supersonic. Supersonic's like Fresnel is in the material, so you need to change it with this. So you can just change the color and it will apply to the model. I'm not doing this in this case because I don't need it, but it's there for that. The Fresnel power obviously is how much power the Fresnel has. You don't need to touch it if you don't need it, again. And as for the eyes, you need to check how the eyes are done. But generally speaking, the eyes only use the diffuse. Sometimes they might have an MRO, they have a mask, and they have an SPT. For example, Shadow's eyes use the Sonic eye mask. And that's about it. That's basically all the information you need to use this instance correctly. So I'm going to make a cut until this is done, and we'll be back with the repacking. Right, it finished cooking, so now let's go repack this. Let's go into the engine and the project, saved, cooked, Windows, Union, Content, Asset, Character, Shadow. Now, we are going to copy the Shadow folder, but we are not going to include the Master Material folder. This one stays here. You do not put this into the game. Let's go back into Retalk. Put this in here. Lastly, I am going to be doing a couple things. You're also going to delete this one. Why? Because we want the game to look for the firm material the Shadow actually has, not the one that we made. So now that that's done, we can go back and repack this. Copy this into the actual game. Second. So now as you can see, Shadow's model has changed, and this material is now using the custom textures, but it's working correctly. And it's instead using Shadow's fur material as the base.